The fourth-seeded Eastern Florida State College women's soccer team is in prime position to lock up a spot in the NJCAA National Finals. But fifth-seeded Schoolcraft College will prove to be one last high hurdle at the Titan Soccer Complex. Live from Eastern Florida's Melbourne campus, it's the Ocelots and the Titans next. Well, 11 games down, the 12th and final of group play to come. 3 tickets punched to the semifinals. A fourth will happen here tonight on WEFS. Good evening and welcome everybody alongside Eddie Rodriguez. I'm Jeff Radcliffe. We'll speak with Bradford Evans shortly. Eddie, it's pretty simple for Eastern Florida here in Pool D. They win the group. They lose, they win the group, provided Schoolcraft cannot turn over a 5-goal differential.
Yeah, something that it looks pretty clear. As you and I mentioned before, it's all about getting out of your bracket. Of course, for Eastern Florida, they want to perform well against this Schoolcraft team, the number 5 seed. So they want to do it early. They can still lose the game, but of course, as any coach, you want to get here, you want to play good soccer and move on into the semifinal.
Yeah, Tyler, the 2 seed, awaits on the semifinal side for Friday. It will be Phoenix and ASA Brooklyn in the other semifinal, but you have things to play for here. You want to go in on a high note, and it's going to be tough when you know you can lose by 4.
Yeah, but this is where you want to set the tone, and
yes.
You want to tactically. You want to come out. I know I spoke to Jeff Carr and said, "Look, we got to play this game. Forget about Friday and Saturday. Let's worry about right now. We got to establish our system of play. Just pretend this is do or die for us. We need to come out, play good soccer, and just end this game as soon as we can, so we can get players in, get some fresh legs, take care of the quality of the minutes, and of course, manage scoreboards and score player personnel as well."
Yes, goal differential in play because the Ocelots were upset last night by Iowa Western. So puts Eastern Florida in a great spot, as we know. And sure, you want to go into that semifinal firing on all cylinders, and we'll see what kind of effort they can give tonight.
No, it's a great point you bring up because Eastern Florida did not give up a goal. And when you start talking about goal averages and for and against, of course, they won 4-0. So they are in that plus category, and that's the reason why they could afford to lose this game, just not by more than 3 or 4 and still go to the next round.
The Titans will face the Ocelots for the second time in as many years here at this tournament. Schoolcraft College 13-1-1, led by Jamila Thompson. She was here last year, the native of Toronto.
And that's the one you got to worry about her. She's got plenty of speed, pace, and she plays like a number 9, so she's going to be able to hold the ball, and she's probably one of the most dangerous players in this Schoolcraft side. So you got to keep your eye on her at all times.
Speaking of keeping an eye on a player, nobody had really a better first-round game than Nat De Silva, the Region 8 first-teamer.
Well, she did it all. She could finish. She had an assist as well. Just that flavor. She adds that extra little oomph, that Brazilian style, the Jogo Bonito to the game. Always so flamboyant. You see her there. Always just right on cue. You see that little dance, and, she's always happy flicking the ball. And, of course, she's great on set pieces. She's able to put the ball in the back of the net as well.
Smiling and feeling good as we look at the lineups here. Schoolcraft, the 5 seed. Already talked about Jamila Thompson. You got Megan Swerchek, who has scored 9 goals this season. Very stout team defensively. The 87 national champs, so they have some history here. A couple of changes lineup-wise. They'll go with McKenna Haas in goal. Mallory Bryant will be in defensively, and Sophia Schmello. So 3 changes from what they had the other night. And Eastern Florida, just the 1 change. Welcome back Chloe Whitaker to the starting lineup after going through that concussion protocol. Played very well in the opener off the bench. She's back into the lineup. The coaches, Jeff Carr, awaiting this hopefully a coronation in a way going into a semifinal as it has chilled just a bit. Joe Carver, now in his first season as head coach. He was an assistant for his brother Dave the last 2 years in Livonia, Michigan. Referee tonight will be Miguel Martez. He'll be assisted by Tony Ballmer and Chris Bolak. And Winston O'Connor will be the fourth official. Eastern Florida, by virtue of being the higher seed, will wear white, attacking left to right here in this first half. And Schoolcraft College, the Ocelots in the dark blue with the yellow. So good contrast for us to call a game here tonight. Happy about that.
Very happy about that. Nothing like calling a dark blue with black numbers.
gray with purple. We've seen that. So you see Jamila Thomas wearing number 9. She will kick things off. They have some options. Schoolcraft 13-1-1. Had a 7-game win streak stopped last night. They had allowed just 5 goals all season, allowed 5 last night to Iowa Western. So, well, crazy things happen here on the Space Coast. We're underway. Game 12.
Schoolcraft coming up with a 4-3-3. And once again, keep an eye on Jamila Thompson, true number 9, and she is wearing number 9, so she's going to post up and try to put either a midfielder through or another one of the 3 forwards that they're playing on top.
Quick throw. Had Schoolcraft gotten the victory last night, this would be a one and done. This would be a knockout type of game, but not the case. The other 3 semifinals were, or the other 3 group stage finals.
And that's the craziness of the tournament setup. You and I have been talking about it the whole week. You just got to worry about getting out, get out of your bracket.
Yeah.
Of course, you want to win it so you can be in a good spot.
Schoolcraft on the front foot, a little flick saved. Chemley got a foot to it, now coming out quickly. The Ocelots obviously dejected last night. You wonder how their mental state would be for this game, and sure enough, here to battle.
Yeah, they started early. You see this ball gets played. Sofia Sumilo right here, and then down the line, Brian with a crossbar post. And Danielle Gomez just clears it out of the back. But you're right, you and I always talk about the first 5 minutes and last 5 minutes of each half kind of set up the tone. You want to get the jitters out of the way and, of course, get yourself situated. Start implementing some of the tactical scheme that you're going to play against and see what the other team has to offer as well.
Good control by Tara Arlen in the starting lineup tonight. Chemley intercepts, goes to the line. It'll be a throwback for the Ocelots. 3rd straight national tournament appearance for the school that's about 15 miles northwest of Detroit. Sophia Carroll will be the pivot. Ebony Wiseman gets a foot to it. Nat De Silva, well, going to draw a lot of attention as she always does. And the number 6 able to clear. And that's Schmello. Well, for the first time tonight, let's welcome into the broadcast once again Bradford Evans, who is down on the pitch. Bradford.
Jeff, it's a pleasure to be with you, but I miss you. I'm down here on the field. I was
a little
up with
chilly
you the entire day, no kidding. But a thing to take into account for, me and EK covered the Schoolcraft game yesterday. A person to look out for, a person of interest to you was Megan Swerchek. She was deployed out on the wing before, and she works extremely hard. She has a high work rate, created a chance for Jamila Thompson. So those two work together up top very well.
Yeah, Wiseman gets taken down right outside the 18. It's a great chance for Natalia Da Silva. We've seen a score from there. She's going to be looking towards the far post. In-swinger, right foot.
Kel Haas is the goalkeeper, and for the first time tonight has it safely in the breadbasket.
Yeah, didn't quite get enough of the ball. She was trying to go either near post, just a little bit of an English, a little bit bend, and we've seen a score from there to the far post, though. Yeah, you can tell she didn't quite get enough for that ball.
Down the line it goes. Eastern Florida with an extra day of rest after their 4-0 win over Iowa Western.
And that's huge when you talk about playing back-to-back games. Of course, if Eastern Florida's to go through here, and that seems to be the case, then they'll have another day in between, resting Thursday, playing Friday, and of course, whatever happens then you have to a pretty fast turnaround to play Saturday. So fitness is definitely going to be an issue here. How deep can you go on your roster without the level dropping, of course, the intensity level and the quality of the play on the field, not only tactically but technically as well.
4 minutes gone by, and these two teams were in the same group a year ago. So there is some familiarity there, some roster familiarity. So a lot of players had come back. Oh, a little overplay from Gomez. Jamila there to help clean it up against Swerchek. Swerchek, the freshman out of Milford, Michigan.
Yeah, Swerchek just gets up a little gingerly. You see the Schoolcraft, as soon as they got the foul, you know, they wanted to play an early ball. They're eager to go forward and try to get something, the attack.
Lockwood comes back for the ball. So yeah, the 4-3-3. We said Tom Swerchek and Schmello up front to start. Smith, Borgdorf, and Arlen in the midfield. Mallory Bryant in the right back, Rebecca Holbrook left, and it's Rosansky and Cataldo, the center defenders.
Yeah, and this is when Eastern Florida's got to do a better job of getting rid of the ball. Megan Dees lost the ball, try to bring the ball down, open up her hip, play the ball out wide, and the speed of the game, that's something they did well a couple of days ago.
Yep.
They played early, they played into the space, and they never let the opponent get to them. That's got to be the case for them to just get some chances early in this game. You got to put the ball down and play it.
It's Toms. Bumped off the ball, play on. Service across the area. Diner will watch it, and Gomez will clear it.
And there's that physicality of Jamila Thompson we were talking about. You saw that little body check, just keeping the ball
under some pressure here.
You see Juna Supan there. She wins the ball, and she was looking to go far post without cross, so you got to keep an eye on her all the time.
Chloe Whitaker tracks it down. To Rosansky. Up the line, and it will be Eastern Florida ball as the chill is in the air here tonight, Eddie. It
Oh,
could
definitely.
affect the game a little bit.
Yeah, definitely the temperature dropped. So I was down on the field for warm-ups, and you can tell at least 10 to 12 degrees dropped already. And of course, when you have a little bit of wind condition as well, the temperature will continue to drop a bit.
Had the wind all day. Of course, this being the home field of Eastern Florida, certainly comfortable in these surroundings, dealing with it. One and done as the Titans can't mount anything offensively, able to come back and win the ball.
And that's the speed of the game I was talking about. You see Deed on the ball. Just get the ball played, explode that space.
Throw in back to the Titans, coming in 12-2.
But Bradford can probably tell us a little bit more about that weather, a little bit more of that wind condition. He's field side.
Okay. Yeah, the weather down here, the wind is not nearly as bad as it was 2 nights ago, but it's still a little bit gusty here. It can cause problems for the goalkeepers, as I've said before. But yeah, it's not terrible, but maybe it could get a little worse.
Find out. It's always blows a little worse and a little colder when you're on the short end of the scoreboard. Right now, 0-0. Even Coach Carr, now in his 8th year, this is Toronto weather, native of
Oh, yeah.
Canada,
I saw him with shorts and a tank top earlier.
Yeah.
This is surfing weather for him.
Lockwood will lift it in. And making a bit of an adventure of it is McKenna Haas, freshman out of Flint.
That's a good ball, though. Lockwood going far post, looking for Cristina Garriga. That's a nice driven ball into the box. Garriga just a little bit, she waited a little bit too long to make that run. McKenna has the goalkeeper.
Wow. disrupted by Chemley. She will chase along the line with Holbrook. Comes away. Canadian on that line. De Silva had a shot at it, couldn't collect it, and then the big tackle came.
Yeah, and the referee close enough. As soon as De Silva went down, the referee just looked that way. No foul, no call.
One thing that was most impressive of that 4-0 victory over Iowa Western was the possession. In the neighborhood of 85% in that game.
Right, and you know, as you know, once you keep the ball and you start dominating, you start playing side to side. Now the through balls are on, and that's one of the best things they did. You know, the movement on and off the ball, and that's something that Jeff Carr was very proud of, and something he truly liked about that first game in this tournament. Just the movement on and off the ball was there, and therefore they got chances. They created lots of chances, and it was just inevitably a matter of time before they score some goals.
First set piece comes by way of corner kick. Lockwood will take it and will launch it towards the back post. Out was Haas. And one and done unless Carroll can track it down.
Great ball by Lockwood, though. Driven ball to the far post. Cristina Garriga just a little bit off. Not able to get, you know, her head in there. And Garriga probably the best attacking, you know, player for Eastern Florida in the air. Once again, you see Lockwood driving the ball to the far post. And Garriga just a little bit off. Her timing was off.
Flicked. Run comes Garriga and cannot collect. Launched forward. Schoolcraft starting to take a defensive posture and just try to get it up to Toms.
You know, and that's something else that Eastern Florida did as well in their last game. They continued to put pressure going forward. And as you know, Jeff, when you keep going forward and you have to play less defense, the more you have the ball and you're attacking third. And that's pretty much been the idea and the scheme for Eastern Florida. Go forward, use the width, trying to create chances outside the box. And of course, when you get your chances, put them away.
Sarah Deinert had kicked it away for Eastern Florida, the keeper, making her 15th start of the season. Down the line.
Natalia Da Silva showing some great technical ability at center mid. So we see the first up for Schoolcraft.
Chemley got the touch. Immediately going into the offensive set. Ebony. Wiseman can't keep it on her right foot. Turned around but held on the attacking half once more. Lockwood coming back for it. Shot by Dees. Chemley dancing on the ball somewhat. Lockwood trying to feed it through. And they are packing it in are the Ocelots.
Yeah, and there's that movement you were talking about on and off the ball, and now you see Schoolcraft playing a little more defensive, as you just pointed out, and the more they just kind of draw back and sit back, it's going to be a long game for them, a long game defensively, because now you're going to have to, you know, efficiently defend the whole time, and you're just going to count on your number 9 for that lonely counterattack every once in a while.
Especially for you to have a chance to advance, you got to score goals, right? So
absolutely.
Getting into a shell, maybe it's just damage limitation.
Well, especially
leave here feeling good. And the flick back header saved off the line. How about Haas there?
Yeah, once again, Garriga with a great header, Lockwood with a great driven ball, and even a better save by Haas, the goalkeeper. We talked about Garriga being the best offensive player in the air for Eastern Florida, and once again, she proves that.
These finds Wiseman, but look again.
Great driven ball. Garriga climbs the ladder all by herself. Actually was a defender.
Yeah. That was Holbrook, rather. So
Holbrook right on the line.
send it down to Brad, who had a good look.
Yeah, guys, I had a good look at that one. You guys are saying that it was saved by the keeper, but it was a spectacular save by Rebecca Holbrook on the line. And Rebecca Holbrook yesterday surrendered 2 cheap goals, 1 penalty, and 1 where she just ran into her own defender, surrendering 2 of these goals. So she's making up for it and atoning for her sins.
Holbrook, the Highland, Michigan native. Yeah, at first look, it looked like the keeper. Then on our replay, saw Holbrook get low, and now we've got a card.
Yeah, on the other side,
Gomez will go.
Danielle Gomez gets called for the foul first, and then after that, the way she reacted, the referee ended up giving her.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you
good
see
look.
that right on the line. Great job by Holbrook, because that would have gone in.
Well, now the Titans have to see out a free kick the other way. Jenna Smith, who can launch one, had a goal and assist last night.
Yeah, just the way she's lining up, she's going to go direct.
And hits the wall. Chemley disrupts it. Second ball is always the most dangerous. Not always, but sometimes. And boy, a big challenge there. And take time here. Martez will stop the clock to have a chat with his assistant.
Yeah, they're going to have a chat with Whitaker, Chloe Whitaker, or the captains.
Whitaker and Borg, Dorf. Some action here in the first quarter hour. Now grabbing the hand as the decision. That's what the referee saw. Quickly, Chemley into the open field, plays the ball on the diagonal. Coming back to get it was Garriga. De Silva was making the run into the 18. Lockwood now.
Yeah, and she had it wide open. De Silva made a great diagonal run. Could play the ball down the line.
Throw in for the Titans. Schoolcraft coming in. A nice little run. Again, that 7-game win streak stopped last night. They were 13-0-1. First loss of the season comes in the tournament. A tie at Delta in October, 1-1. And good wins against Monroe Community College 3-2 and Lewis and Clark 2-1. So quality competition for the Ocelots.
Yeah, no, those are good good programs, and anytime you get to go and go up against some of these, nationally ranked programs as well, and get a result, that's huge for your program, and it gives you that confidence as well as you go into further into the season.
50-50 rolls back. Destiny DeLuca, by the way, is in defensively as Gomez had come out for the yellow.
Yeah, and now that the game has settled a little bit, you see Schoolcraft going with 2 forwards only. Megan playing on top with Jamila Thompson, and now
Wiseman the foul.
Yeah, you get that foul, but now you're going to see a little more space where Eastern Florida's defended with 4, so Jamila's not going to have a lot of time to bring the ball down and play it.
Doing the honors, Tara Arlen. Boy, a long ball, could be trouble. Chloe Whitaker handles it.
Yeah, those are dangerous situations. They're very difficult, so you want to just clear the ball as soon as you can.
Bringing the ball down out of the air with your foot and kicking it out of there, that's a skill. Comes near side. Lockwood back into the area, headed back towards the near post.
Yeah, Da Silva lost that ball and the lights. I think she was trying to bring that down, and you see that smile, and you see that looking towards, Lockwood gets to the end line, looks up, picks a target. That's actually a great ball, and if you see, yeah, she was in between bringing it down, didn't quite get enough of that ball, and you saw that reaction, though. She lost it in the lights. We'll give her that.
Yep, she's a player that does enjoy the game and has fun when she's out there.
You see that smile all the time, and just the way she plays the game always adds that little flavor to it.
DeLuca was kept alive. Maybe a chance for Jamila Thompson. No.
I'll tell you what, I like that, you know, that battle right there. Chloe Whitaker against Jamila Thompson. That's going to be a battle throughout the game.
Burners.
Battle of speedsters.
Rosansky ushered back. Shemley making it difficult. Throw back to the Titans. No, Ocelots overruled. View cut off just a bit.
He's trying to see some of the athletes from Eastern Florida, other sports that are, you know, here supporting their school, and they're coming in with blankets and sweats, and, you know, that just gives you an indication of how much the temperature has dropped in this first half.
Shemley had an angle to shoot. Instead played it square, looking for Nat De Silva. So a run here for Olivia Borg. Dorf crossing halfway, playing it forward. Toms, and one touch failed her.
Yeah, Borgdorf, the captain, had a lane.
Falls to Nat De Silva. And now Klesha Daru had just entered the game. One touch, one shot.
Great shot by the Daru, though. She got the ball from Da Silva. A little bit off balance. She didn't quite got her hips around, but it's a good idea, though. Da Silva right here collects the ball, comes inside, just when you think she's going to take a shot. Nice little ding. Daru is leaning back a little bit, and that's why she's not able to turn the hips and make great contact with the ball.
Daru, again, less than 100% late in the season.
And I was just gonna say, keep in mind that she just literally come onto the field, so that's her first ball she touched.
Lockwood into the corner, offside flag. Comes out. So
good
20
idea.
minutes in, still no score.
Weissman waiting in that corner, trying to stretch the field, but she was offside. Once again, Eastern Florida started with that intensity, just going forward and trying to find those gaps.
Overrunning a bit. Back, DeLuca.
Yeah, you see all the time that Eastern Florida has building it, switching the point of attack. They went in, they had enough time, they lose the ball, and then the ball comes back out. They still were able to keep possession, and that, you know, as you mentioned earlier, the last game they had every bit of 80% of you know, possession, and they're starting to do that in this game as well.
Drilled. Oh, a golazo! And Eastern Florida takes the lead. Holy cow! Ebony Wiseman. Tip your hat.
We talked about the importance of keeping the ball, switching the point of attack. Ebony Wiseman finds the ball outside the 18 and just unleashes the demons right there. Just a dot to the top shelf. Here you see her. Look at the time she has. Looks up. Lets it go. Wow. And just like that, Eastern Florida goes up 1-0. Just a laser to the top shelf. You saw the amount of time Schoolcraft gave her on the ball. She took a touch, looked up, and decided to just go for it.
The Titans now in the lead, so that goal differential is at +5. Schoolcraft entered the game at -1. Now they're at -2.
And once again, Eastern Florida not giving up a goal in the last game, keeping that clean sheet. It's huge because You want to keep yourself in the plus category when it comes down to the goal average.
Yikes.
Ooh, that
looked like it hurt. Take a look at the launch.
Well, this is a goalkeeper view right here. Look at all that space, and you see Weissman hitting that ball with the outside of her right foot, so the ball was even going away from the goalkeeper. McKenna has nothing she could do as the ball was going away. Of course, a very well driven ball to the corner.
There's Jamila. And Tom's taken down. Fair challenge.
Yeah, Chloe Whitaker with a great tackle, and you can tell because look how she wins the ball. Whitaker just, watch the tackle right here. She gets the ball.
Got it right. Some frustration there for Tom's Canadian. 2 goals last night for the sophomore.
And the problem with Jamila Thompson, now she's playing by herself on top. And when she holds the ball for Schoolcraft, she's always gonna have to go against at least 2 defenders. You have Whitaker, and then you have Juna Supan on the other side, and then Gomez in the middle as well.
Yep. Gomez has returned. Play it right, and now DeLuca going a little higher up the pitch here on the right side, as Chemily has exited for a breather. 1-0 to the good for the Titans, looking to clinch a spot in the semis where Tyler awaits. Tyler with a little drama today, trailing late, scoring a goal on a PK, on a handball. And then won it in the first minute of added extra time on an own goal. So the soccer gods were with the Tyler Apaches, and now a player down for Schoolcraft. And Brad Evans has more.
Western is over on the left side of you guys on the pitch, so they're watching this game with a lot of intent as you know, their hope hangs in the balance, really. They're going to need Schoolcraft to drop a lot of goals on Eastern Florida, and I'm sure the home crowd won't enjoy that if that happens. So lots on the line tonight. Back up to you, Jeff.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I guess Iowa Western is the team that could really turn this around. At least a better chance, but Eastern Florida, as Brad said, has to have a bad night. Is Iowa Western winning last night? Were, I believe, +3 coming in, or -3. Yep. Here's a look at the collision as we figure out the math.
Yeah, once again, you see Da Silva going out for the ball, and there's definitely contact with Jenny Simmons. She got hit from behind a little bit. Of course, nowadays with the concussion protocol, you see the trainer, the best trainer in all junior college.
Eastern Florida +4 entering tonight in goal differential. That's should Schoolcraft win. This is what come into play. Iowa Western -3 and Schoolcraft -1. That's entering the night. Now that has shifted. +5 for Eastern Florida and -2 for Schoolcraft. So now you're talking quite a difference. You need to pull out what ASA Brooklyn did. You need to pull out a 7
Yeah,
spot
7. Yeah. But,
just to get even. Then it goes to the next tiebreaker.
Yeah, but for Eastern Florida, it's about taking care of business in this game and establish the flow, establish their system of play, and just get used to playing good soccer right now in this tournament. You can start to hear the
Titans.
The Titan athletes. Of course, we have probably basketball players and
Yeah,
volleyball.
see, I know they're not saying goodbye, but that tune
no, right? I know that's
has the connotation saying you're waving bye-bye, and
it's way too early for that.
Yes. Gotta be a little more creative, guys, right? Here, Megan Swerchek now will have the first corner for Schoolcraft. Lofted in, Decent delivery. And it will come back out. We'll have the throw. Goal kick. Here's a look at the corner kick.
Swerchik once again driving that ball to the near post. Doesn't quite get enough. You want to drive that to the penalty spot, giving your players a chance. And Swerchik is the other forward, playing on that right flank, that right side. Hasn't really seen a lot of action. Not too many balls to her feet. And of course now she's got to play defensive, so she's got to come down and defend on that right side.
Toms comes up with a loose ball. Dinks and dives, goes to the left. I want to give her space. Wiseman there to disrupt, and now cleaned up by Lockwood. Clisha DeRue trying to find Lockwood. Dropping back was Jenna Smith, sophomore out of Milford.
Yeah, that's part of DeRue not being 100%. You can see her touch. She makes some of those, I mean, she runs very gingerly, almost like she doesn't want to put enough weight on that left leg. You know, she's still making runs and checking to the ball, but it's not quite the same player, you know, as we've seen before, using that speed and that athleticism that she possesses.
Be a throw. Megan Dees went off an ocelots and running out of real estate. Nat De Silva behind goal kick for McKenna Haas and company. Well, this is final pool play game of the 2017 NJCAA Division I Women's Soccer Championships here in Melbourne, Florida. I'm Jeff Radcliffe, joined by Eddie Rodriguez. Bradford Evans down on the sideline for this one. So glad to have you along. If you happen to be in Michigan, tuning in, thanks for joining us. Schoolcraft College trailing 1-0. Toms turns it upfield, splits defenders, but Deinert will clean it up. De Silva. Some service into the area.
Yeah, she was trying to play Lockwood into space. She doesn't quite get enough under. If you're going to play that ball, it's got to be behind the whole entire Schoolcraft defense.
Kinds of change for Jeff Carr. Christina Garriga back in, and DeRue will come off after a decent shift. Pushed in DeLuca. The Melbourne Beach native, starred for Mel High, has had a good run to the end of the season. Played for Rosie Lord.
Cristina Garriga draws the foul right there. Lockwood on the ball.
And she can deliver. Lockwood from Huddersfield, England.
Yeah, there's that combo. Lockwood, look for Garriga, far post.
Player of the year in the region, sends it in. No problem for McKenna Haas, again making her 4th start in goal tonight.
Yeah, you talk about some of that Bulldog talent from Mel High. And
interesting about Haas, because Lauren Auspitz played keeper last night. Until tonight, hadn't conceded a goal this season, McKenna Haas. So that was the first, and it took a brilliant strike.
Oh, yeah.
From Ebony Wiseman.
Well, if you're going to give one up, that's the one,
yeah.
right? I mean, nothing she could do,
no.
And it's just a great driven ball to the far post.
Not like Ethan Horvath yesterday. You see the U.S.
Oh, yeah.
Had a good game otherwise, but Portugal pulling level on that one. And it's De Silva.
Yeah, De Silva with Lockwood, cheeky little back heel, and Lockwood didn't reciprocate in that run.
Jamila Thompson coming deeper and deeper to get the ball.
And see, that's what I was talking about. Defensively, you know, nobody from Schoolcraft on top. When Jamila gets the ball, then, you know, the two center backs and the right fullback which is Gomez all by themselves.
DeLuca with the touch. Down the line and keeps it in. Crosses away, not much to it. Had to race to get there. Nice run there from DeLuca.
Oh, it's a great run. Cheeky little play. And you see that confidence. Jeff going down the line right here. Ball gets played to the other side. This is now DeLuca, plays the ball to herself. Has enough wheels to get there, looks up.
Just
rushed.
Just couldn't turn around it to get enough on it to
to turn her hips around. But it's just great ability when you believe in yourself and you can play the ball with the outside of your right foot and get around it.
It's Danielle Gomez, the sophomore out of Alpine, California. Originally went to Coral Gables High School before matriculating here to Eastern Florida. Titans will have the throw, just under 15 minutes to go opening half. They've got the 1-0 advantage and in good shape to advance.
Yeah, because now, Jeff, they're controlling the score. Of course, they're up 1-0. They're controlling the time, the rhythm of the game, the possession, and you know, they're going to be content with doing this right here. Just switching the point of attack, keeping the ball, possessing, and, you know, pretty much dictating the flow of the game as well.
That went off for Jamila. Comes breakout for the Ocelots. Good service in. Deinert there. Got nicked a bit by her own player, as you saw Danielle Shuehat.
Yeah, that's a dangerous play down for Schoolcraft. Great ball. It all started with Swerchek down the line, played the ball to the far post.
Shuehat, nice delivery.
Great ball right there because, you know, Jamila wasn't too far from that ball. You play the ball into the space and anything can happen. Of course, you're rushing the goalkeeper to come out.
Ocelots looking for a leveler here as we draw late into this first half.
Yeah, for them, Jeff, it will be great if they can score before the half, before the intermission. It will be a way for them to stay in this game, of course, because right now as the game continues to go on, they're playing a little more defensive and more defensive, and you know, they just can't quite get anything going on top.
If you're Jeff Carr, you want to win this game outright.
Oh,
take
absolutely.
the pool 2-0. You don't want to win this on a goal differential, right? That takes some of your
no,
momentum
because
away.
you wanna build that momentum. You want your team to get into that semifinal, knowing that you played two good, solid games, and the game is, and then the team is playing good soccer right now. So.
And ideally, you get a lead here and can rest some of the starters. Of course, they have a day off tomorrow before the Friday semis. Free kick.
Megan D gets taken down. Good run, and that's one of the things she does best. She gets around. Look at that, turning on the jets right there. It's a good opportunity for Lockwood once again. This is when you want to send Supan and Garriga into the box. Da Silva, Gomez, Sofia Carroll as well. Many choices for Eastern Florida in the box.
Supan lifts it. Boy, another good delivery. No finish possible on the back post. You know, Supan was the nearest.
Yeah, great ball by Lockwood. She drives the ball. Nobody there. It actually, Supan was the closest player to it. A couple other players like Garriga lost the ball in the air, but nonetheless, another good chance for Eastern Florida, who continues to just knock on the door.
Jamila. Hold up play by Garriga. Could not find Natalie De Silva. And as it's taken into the corner, up the line it goes, right to Lockwood. This is going to test Haas. No, it's not. Well, keep up with the latest news and updates regarding NJCAA soccer by visiting the official website of the National Junior College Athletic Association at www.njcaa.org. 12th and final pool play game. It's been 3 days back to back to back to back. And the games have gotten more competitive and compelling for the most part as we've went through.
I know you've been busy calling in majority of these games.
Yeah, so same with Bradford.
Yeah, difficult to call back-to-back games and not a lot of time in between. Bradford, let's check in with you. How you doing down there, my friend?
Yeah, well, just things are a little bit quiet on my side of the pitch here. Lots of attacking over in the middle and over on the far side here. So not a lot of action my way, but I expect more coming in the second half.
Okay, let's ring Jeff Carr and get that figured out and remedied. Saw Shelby Jacquez come in. Under 10 to go. In fact, coming up on the 9-minute mark. Ocelot settling in a little bit more, but still conceding quite a bit. Jeff Carr.
You see he's got
long
that
sleeves tonight.
And he's got that Canadian look now with that full beard.
Yeah.
He's going.
Just needs a toque. He's set.
Of course. Shaky little
Nice
play
look.
by De Silva right there. She loves doing that.
Turn feed. It got away from her though.
So confident when you're able to do that and of course connect. Having ice in the back of your head when you just play the ball with your back heel and
There's a build up and could not produce the final ball as Swarchek was trying to make the late run.
yeah, Jenna Smith just hits that ball. Swarchek making a good diagonal run trying to get in between the two center backs and you see the discrepancy between the two teams possession wise. As you see Jeff Carr with a great diving catch right there. Showing some of the Canadian athleticism.
Goalkeepers would be proud as Lockwood picks it up in the middle of the park on the diagonal. Just a little too far out in front for Wiseman. Lockwood plays a negative ball back. Dees waits. Lockwood trouble pulling it in, and here's Jamila Thompson. That one through. Deinert picks it up. Nothing troubling yet. Iowa Western amassed a whole shot against Eastern Florida on Monday night. One shot. Skipped right to Haas.
Da Silva mishit that. She saw Garriga making a good run in the far post. That she needs to do a better job delivering that because she had her wide open. Anytime you leave Cristina Garriga by herself with that frame, that one-on-one, she's going to be dangerous, of course, always in set pieces, but she does have the ability to go one-on-one. She's good on the ball, especially for her size.
Gomez. Chemily closes down quickly. Play on, says the referee, Miguel Martez. Not much of an advantage gain, though we'll get a throw out of it. Wind really ripping now.
Yeah, now you can actually hear our microphones on the field picking up that the wind, and you see that foul right here. No call. Well, it's actually advantage, and De Silva was trying to play that through ball to Wiseman.
Yep. So right now, for the next 5.5 minutes, Eastern Florida will have the win at the back. De Silva try to sneak it in. Haas went low to take it. My question for you is, would you rather have the wind at your back or wind in your face?
No, you definitely want to have it on your back. You see Da Silva gets the ball here between two players, gets to the inside, and it's almost like she's rushing the shot a little bit. McKenna Haas in the back. No, you definitely want to have it on your back to go against the wind. A lot of times you can't even get the ball out of the back because it'll hang.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to have it on your back, and then you can take off a little bit as you try to go forward. You can see the corner flag, how much the wind has picked up the last 10 minutes here.
The question is, would a goalkeeper disagree? For that answer, we go down to Bradford Evans.
Well, I'll just give you a little bit of a report. The answer is you want to be against the wind. But regardless, I'm out here trying to not blow away. I'm planted in my seat, just trying to hold on for dear life as the winds have picked up here.
Hey.
You know, it's they say Florida has really nice weather. This is not my favorite right here.
Oh, you should have been here for Irma.
Well, this is
no thank you on that one. I'll pass.
For Schoolcraft, a team
Thanks,
from Michigan. This is good weather.
Yeah, we're used to the cold.
Of course,
the chill in the air.
Now in Michigan, you're looking at temperatures in the 30s, I'm sure, and it's snow on the ground. This is for them Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
You know, stroll.
Picked up. Wiseman dropping it right in front of Garriga. Chasing it to the byline. We'll circle back. Numbers closed her down. Into space. Lockwood comes away with it. Will shoot and score! Katie Lockwood makes it 2-0.
Cristina Garriga with a great ball to the middle. Katie Lockwood collects the ball right around the 18. Takes a touch, looks up, buries it to the far post with authority. Just what Eastern Florida needed right before the half. You see the ball, deep ball for Cristina Garriga. Gets the ball, looks up. Look at Katie Lockwood, goes into that tackle and finds the back of the net to the far post. This is crucial and very important, Jeff.
Yeah.
Right before the half,
Final
just
5.
To be able to put that second goal right now, it gives you that a little bit of cushion. And once again, you and I talk about the first and the last 5 minutes of each half. So crucial, so important.
That would be Lockwood's 17th goal of the season. Here's how it looked.
And you can tell the center back stepped in, didn't win the ball, and that's when Lockwood was able to just hit that ball to the far post.
Yeah. Well, the 17 for Lockwood matches De Silva's 17, so we still have not decided who the golden boot of this team will be this year. Now both in the team lead. One thing, you look at Lockwood, she does not have much of she's got a really short stroke when she lets it glide. Does not have to wind it up. She just lets it fly.
And that's a great quality to have when you don't need to have that big wind up.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a quick boom, and
it's one less second the keeper has to react.
Well, she has the ability to drive the ball. You see how well she just hit that ball, and it just came off her foot. That's a clean, solid hit to the far post. Just, you know, superb, tremendous season for both of them at 17 goals. And, you know, of course, Katie Lockwood, a player who can do it all. She can defend, she can score. And you're right, the golden boot for Eastern Florida still up for grabs. Would it be De Silva or Katie Lockwood?
Yep, well, they'll have at least one more game if this scoreline holds, for sure. Right now, the goal differential up to +6 for Eastern Florida. Drops to -3 now for Schoolcraft. So should Schoolcraft win, it's going to be really tough to get the margin at this point because they're in an 0-2 hole.
Yeah,
but if you're Joe Carver, you just want to play a good game, right? You want to
you want to
get something out of the tournament.
Absolutely.
Here.
You want to compete, and you know, as you mentioned, not only is it difficult, you're down 0-2, but also, Jeff, you haven't been able to create many chances or clear chances at that. So the fact that you haven't been anywhere around the goal and you're giving up 2,
De Silva,
not a good sign, especially when you have to match up against Natalia De Silva and company.
Jamie Farrell's in the game. Player coming back from major knee injury. Merritt Island product. Played for Scott Carswell right up the road. So sat out after missing the time, but has worked her way back.
Did you say Merritt Island or did you say?
Merritt Island.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
I thought she was a. another Melbourne
Another
Bulldog.
team that's
Yep.
in the state finals all
Well,
the time.
yeah, just another team that we're used to seeing here year in and year out.
Yep.
Great programs, of course. They provide so much talent to
And
not only Eastern Florida, but some of the schools around, you know.
And that's a point you and I have made over the course of the last couple of seasons. Eastern Florida gets their fair share of the international players, but they get more than their fair share of the local players because the talent here is so good. The clubs are so solid. Half a minute to go. You get both of those, it's a recipe for success.
Yeah, and it's great to just draw that local talent. You talk about, you know, some of the great programs and, you know, even schools like Oviedo in Orlando.
Yeah, McCall Leducas.
You know, and of course on the boys' side, we've seen lots of Bulldogs, you know, playing here for Eastern Florida as well.
Yep. Final seconds tick away. First half, a good half it was for the Titans of Eastern Florida State College. They lead the Schoolcraft College Ocelots 2-0. Final pool play game of this NJCAA Division I Women's Soccer Championship. We'll be back with highlights and more right after this.
Catch the 2017 NJCAA Women's Soccer National Championship game live Saturday at 7 on WEFS.
My wife is currently in the Air Force, so I decided to be a stay-at-home father.
I'm a retiree and a full-time student.
I did online classes because I was traveling and it was easy to take the classes with me.
I am graduating today with my bachelor's in business administration.
If it wasn't for the online classes, I would not be standing here today.
There shouldn't be any procrastination. Just get out there and go do it.
Build a successful career with a bachelor's degree from Eastern Florida State College. You can choose from nearly 20 tracks in today's top job fields of business, healthcare, and computer technologies, with classes tailored to meet your needs on campus and online. Students interested in making their mark in the business world have options that include general business, sales and marketing, accounting and banking, and finance.
I'm pursuing my bachelor's in business organizational management, and I'm getting a specialization in human resources. Not having to go out and find an apartment and get new living situations, find a new job, just be able to stay local and pursue the degree I wanted was just phenomenal for me.
There are more choices in computer technologies with in-demand degrees for cybersecurity, program development, and project management. You can also become a leader in healthcare with degrees in advanced allied health, biomedical sciences, and medical imaging.
My overall experience at Eastern Florida was absolutely wonderful. From the initial academic advisors to the financial aid department to the instructors, all of the staff at Eastern Florida State College really help you accomplish your goals, not just academically, but also professionally.
All of Eastern Florida's programs are created for fields where job growth is strong, providing you excellent employment opportunities after graduation. You'll benefit from personalized instruction and small class sizes, and work with advisors on a customized plan of study. That includes online classes, with many bachelor's degree courses just a click away, and some bachelor degrees available entirely online. Whether you're just starting college or a working adult returning to pursue a new career, getting a bachelor's degree has never been easier. Eastern Florida's programs are affordable and offer flexible scheduling that allows you to stay close to home, making now the perfect time to enroll. A bright future awaits you with a bachelor's degree from Eastern Florida State College. To learn more, visit easternflorida.edu/go/bachelors.
I'm attending Eastern Florida State College and I'm enrolled in the Aviation Maintenance program. We do a lot of hands-on here. What you learn in class is probably like 25% of what you actually learn. You don't just talk about it, you're actually doing the work and breaking it down, and the instructors here really know how to get to what we really should be learning and what's actually in the field. I'd like to stay in this area and do general aviation for a little while and then eventually move into the airlines.
Catch the 2017 NJCAA Women's Soccer National Championship game live Saturday at 7 on WEFS.
Titans in command here at the half as they lead Schoolcraft College, the 4-5 matchup here in Group and Pool D and the NJCAA tournament, and a chance to go to the semifinals on the line, and Eastern Florida has it well in control.
Yeah, they started well. They came out just playing their style. They were able to put their chances away, and they're in command, as you mentioned. They got the score, they got the time, they got the rhythm of the game. And just Schoolcraft are sitting back a little bit as well. And they got the weather, too.
Yeah, and they got the blankets as they watch. And Joe Carver looking for answers as we look at the highlights from that first half.
Lockwood going to the far post, looking for Garriga. The goalkeeper pass came out, collected that ball.
Eastern Florida had two corners. Productive as that was saved off the line to keep it 0-0.
Holbrook saving that out of the back, right on the line.
And DeRue finding Wiseman for the crushing shot.
Wiseman going downtown from outside the 18.
One moment here for Schoolcraft, finally getting into the attacking third, and eventually Deinert will collapse and follow it.
On the other side, Cristina Garriga returns the favor. Plays the ball. Lockwood.
Boy, runs through the tackle and buries it.
There's that short, angle that you're talking about. She's able just to tee it up. Once again, Cristina Garriga sets it up. Lockwood goes through the tackle, and this that quick release that you're talking about, Jeff, to the far post to make it 2-0 for Eastern Florida.
Well, this week it's the NJCAA Division I Women's Soccer Championships. Next week we turn our attention to basketball here on campus. The Paradise Jam is going to be hosted over at the Titan Fieldhouse. You see games 3 days in a row. Butler, Drexel, West Virginia, and Virginia Tech all playing in a round-robin format on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We'll hope to see you there. It's normally played in the Virgin Islands, but because of the devastation due to the hurricanes, moved it here to Florida's Space Coast. Well, you can also follow all the action of the 2017 NJCAA Fall Sport National Championships live on NJCAA TV. Go to www.njcaatv.com to view live and archived broadcasts of the national tournaments for soccer, volleyball, and football. NJCAA TV is also available on Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Android TV, and Roku streaming platforms. NJCAA TV, the official digital video network of the NJCAA. Well, let's talk as we always do. If you are Jeff Carr, you're adjusting nothing, right?
No, I think what he's going to do in the second half is just maybe start, the same way you started with your normal 11 starters for about 10, 15 minutes of the second half, and then after that, just start managing the players. Get some of your starters out, like De Silva, Lockwood. She's playing with a little bit of a quad pull her right quad. You can tell she pulled it a little bit last game. So get him some rest, get some players off the bench, quality minutes.
Get the treatment tomorrow on the day off. Schoolcraft College, the Ocelots still within shouting distance, but they have to change the way they're approaching things right now.
Yeah, for them it's about how can you come out of the back with the ball under control, and of course, how are you going to be able to create some chances? And at some point, Jeff, you and I talk about this all the time, you're going to have to push the lines to go with 2, 3 forwards because, for you, there's no tomorrow. You have to get a result here. You got to put the first one in the back of the net and try to tie this game. You only have 45 minutes to do so.
Well, the name of the game is peaking at the right time. 4 straight wins and counting towards the end of the season. Looking for 5. Eastern Florida on top of the Ocelots. 2-0. A chance to go to the semifinals on the line in the next 45. We'll be back.
Catch the 2017 NJCAA Women's Soccer National Championship game live Saturday at 7 on WEFS.
My wife is currently in the Air Force, so I decided to be a stay-at-home father.
I'm a retiree and a full-time student.
I did online classes because I was traveling and it was easy to take the classes with me.
I am graduating today with my bachelor's in business administration.
If it wasn't for the online classes, I would not be standing here today.
There shouldn't be any procrastination. Just get out there and go do it.
Great careers in aviation are taking flight at Eastern Florida State College with the Aviation Maintenance Technician program at the Orlando-Melbourne International Airport. The program is designed to provide highly skilled workers to companies such as Embraer, AAR, Northrop Grumman, and others that are fueling the airport's expanding commercial aviation sector. Graduates will also have job opportunities at Kennedy Space Center, as their skills are transferable to the commercial space industry. Companies such as SpaceX, Boeing, and Blue Origin are developing new spacecraft to carry astronauts to the International Space Station and beyond on missions that could begin as early as 2018. The FAA-approved program is housed at Eastern Florida's new Aviation Center. The center includes classrooms for lecture classes and a fully equipped hangar where students get hands-on training with multiple aircraft, a machine shop, testing equipment, and composite station.
Most of the other A&P schools are just bookwork. And we actually have the cool equipment, we've got the planes, we've got the engines to work on and get that experience that you can't really get anywhere else.
I've dedicated my world not only to the Air Force, but now to the civilian sector. And I hope that the people that come here understand the importance and the need that we have for aircraft maintainers.
The program consists of 2 certificates, the Aviation Airframe Mechanics PSAV and the Aviation Power Plant Mechanics PSAV. Students learn aircraft maintenance theory, diagnostic procedures, and FAA-approved methods for inspecting, servicing, and repairing aircraft and their systems. They're also taught how to use aviation industry standard tooling and equipment to perform work on actual aircraft. Graduates are qualified to take the Federal Aviation Administration exam that can lead to jobs in aircraft maintenance, repair, and refurbishment that average $55,200 annually. So don't miss your opportunity to be a part of the exciting and growing field of aviation maintenance. Visit our website for information on how to apply.
Join local sportscaster Eric Kohler as he hosts Eastern Florida State College coaches and student athletes for a closer look inside Titan sports. Produced in partnership with Florida Today, the weekly in-depth program covers the 11 Titans men's and women's sports teams through game footage and coaches' analysis. Get closer to the action Thursday night at 8 here on WEFS.
Catch the 2017 NJCAA Women's Soccer National Championship game live Saturday at 7 on WEFS.
Back in Melbourne, ready for second half action as Eastern Florida holding a 2-0 advantage over the Ocelots. So glad to have you back here on WEFS. Titans will attack right to left in this second half. Jeff Radcliffe, Eddie Rodriguez have Bradford Evans on the Chile sideline. Our entire WEFS crew. Been a long 3 days. You get a well-deserved rest day tomorrow. Back here for the semifinals. First one is going to be 5 o'clock as ASA Brooklyn will take on the top seed Phoenix and those Bears. And Tyler at this point will be playing Eastern Florida State College, so seeds will be true and chalk in the second semifinal.
Oh yeah, definitely games are going to be a lot tighter than these when it comes down to matchups throughout the field.
Again, goal differential now -9, so that's what you got to turn over. 9 is the difference. +6 for Eastern Florida, -3 for Schoolcraft.
That's a great ball by Megan Dietz, just in the space. Da Silva makes a good run, and Eastern Florida gets the corner kick. Watch this ball right into the space right there about Megan. And all you got to do is just dink it. You want to play that ball into space, but watch this. Stays in bounds. That ball could have got another 10 yards.
Yep.
Great little touch.
Corner kick number 3 for Eastern Florida, who in that first half outshot Schoolcraft 7-0, and it was 5 on target to none. So that tells you a lot. We'll do it again. Lockwood whips it in front. Garriga saved off the line. Good look there from our camera.
Great job by Garriga on that header.
Remember, the ball has to go all the way over the line. Second attempt, spilled a bit by Haas. And Eastern Florida knocking on the door once more, Eddie.
Once again, Cristina Garriga, you see her ability to climb the ladder and get behind those great crosses by Lockwood. But you're right, though. The ball has to completely cross the line for it to count as a goal.
Oy. A one-on-one battle. Schoolcraft trying to do something with it. And that got their bench fired up that line for Jenna Smith.
It's a great angle right here by our camera crew. Garriga gets up in the air and watch. He doesn't clear the whole line. And the linesman with a great job because he's right on it on the opposite side.
De Silva into some open space. Cut it onto the right foot. Back post goes. Chasing is Garriga. But as is Rebecca Holbrook. And he'll be in behind goal.
Just the way Eastern Florida came out in the second half. That's the way you want to come out of the halftime. Put some pressure. If you're able to put the third right now in the first 10 minutes of the second half, then it's pretty much game over. And now Jeff Carr can afford to make some of those very reliable subs and get some quality minutes for some of the girls off the bench. And really just rest your starters as well.
And of all 4 semifinalists, that's Eastern Florida would be the only team would have that luxury. Everybody else was in a tussle this afternoon.
And you definitely got to take advantage of that. I spoke to
I mean,
Jeff Carr
ASA,
about that.
ASA ended up winning 7-3. However, a lot of those goals were scored late, and they don't have any subs. Down to 11 players.
That's a different.
So you're not resting anybody, I don't think.
Well, no, that's a different situation altogether. You just don't have players to sub in.
Yeah,
so
going to be interesting going forward for them. Obviously, very highly technical team. So
and for them,
real
Jeff,
positive
it
play.
might come down to, just the wheels falling off the wagon, because if they don't have the legs to play in that, they get a day off, but not having that deep bench, you can come back to hunt you in the second half of that semifinal.
Well, they played back-to-back days, didn't hurt them. A clean-up challenge from Chloe Whitaker. Good sportsmanship being shown there.
There you see how the ball doesn't entirely clear the line. Great job once again by Rebecca Holbrook. This is the second time she's saved a ball off the line.
Taking a tumble is Toms. And now she's shaken up, hitting the shin.
Toms is taking a beating. Once again, you see Toms going into a 50-50 with Gomez. Oh, Gomez just cleared the ball, and I think she got it right at the end with her cleat when he was up in the air.
Corner kick number 2 for Schoolcraft here. So let's see if they can generate their first shot on target here. Swarchek will do the honors, and getting it high up into the wind. Headed once, and over the line it goes back to Eastern Florida.
Yeah, Swarchek really got underneath that one, and of course with the wind, that's the last thing you want to do. You want to drive the ball. You see the wind conditions in that corner flag as Destiny DeLuca comes in. Lockwood gets a well-deserved rest.
DeLuca checks in, and so does Brad Evans.
Jeff, so we talked about it yesterday or earlier on today about Schoolcraft, how we heard some of the players were crying after that loss to Iowa Western, and we can definitely see a little bit of lack of good positive body language from Schoolcraft. They kind of look like they're defeated so far and just not giving their all here.
Interesting perspective. Thanks so much, Bradford. What do you see here, Eddie?
Well, he's got a good point, and as their core, as the game is kind of getting away from you, the body language is going to start to change, and your demeanor is going to change as well, and you don't have that, a little jump to your step, and it's hard to, when you can't match up against a very athletic and a very solid team in Eastern Florida.
Sure, there had, though, in your 10, 11-year professional career, had to have games in which, look, you were out of that competition. And how hard is it to get up and continue fighting? A lot of times in the professional ranks, you're playing for a job, obviously.
No, right, and that truly is the difference. As you mentioned, you're playing for a job and you're playing for a roster spot. As you know, you're very well with the rosters in MLS, and at any given time, you can get either released or traded. So you're always in the back of your mind playing for something, But there's times, there's played DC United one time. We're down 4-0. What do you play for? Well, the pride, and you should have to run and tackle, and still get something out of it, something positive.
At this level, you're playing for that school name on the front of the jersey as De Silva tries to pull it down. Nicely taken away by Nicole Cataldo. So pass is not connecting tonight for the Ocelots.
I tell you, that's one of the best things about Jeff Card and what he's done with this program. It's just every single one of those players in the roster wants to play well for the school and have that school pride, and just anybody who comes off the bench as well.
There's the individual point too. There are a lot of four-year school scouts here, so you're playing for a chance to continue your soccer career as well.
Oh, absolutely, especially if you're a sophomore like De Silva and some of the players who've been here, this being their second year. You're in a kind of a tough situation, because unless you're committed somewhere else, you're playing for a job next year.
Yeah, but remember, these are collegiate level athletes who lay it all on the line all season long. You have things taken from you. It's certainly tough, and look, you're 18, 19, 20 years old. You're a different point when you're a 24, 25-year-old professional.
Right. On the other side of that, we've seen, some of the players who have gone to the next level, like, Bunny, who's had a great year at University of Tennessee, and that's the next level from Eastern Florida, Division I, and of course she's, you know, 3 times player of the week in her conference, and she was, yeah, part of the best 11 as well. So it's great to see. Of course, on the boys' side, you see J.J. Donnelly as well, and you know, some of the other players who've gone on not only to the next level in college, but even to the pro ranks as well.
Good point. 36 minutes to go. Sure, De Silva would like to get on the board. She had 2 goals against Iowa Western. Brace for the Brazilian out of Rio de Janeiro.
Especially right now, then she's still battling it out for the golden boot between her and Katie Lockwood.
Yeah. Garriga.
And look, as a forward, as you know, Jeff, you always want to get on the board. It doesn't matter whether you're winning 1-0 or 4-5-0. You always want, you know, you want to get your goal.
Yep.
I know we talk about that's one of the way. Well, that's one of the ways you're going to be judged as a forward. How many goals you have and how many assists you have as well. So you see that tackle once again.
Una Suppan playing the part of a bowling ball as the planets collide. Whew. It's not
Jamila
been the game
Thompson
that
once
Jamila
again.
Thompson
Yeah,
wanted.
she's, like I said earlier, taking a beating, and once again, Suppan just delivering the punishment. Una Suppan, the German, just a great center back.
Yeah.
She's been solid throughout the year. Just, you know, one of the most experienced players in this Eastern Florida roster.
Free kick to make things a little more interesting here. As Olivia Borgdorf stands over and studies in, waiting a conversation between the referee and De Silva.
Yeah, Katie Lockwood back in the game. Borgdorf.
Measured Borgdorf and bounces right to Deinert. That was not necessarily an easy shot to stop.
No, you see how the ball was curving. Borgdorf looking to go near post, and she put a little bit of spin with the outside, so it's a difficult ball because that ball's gonna dip, and he did. Took a little bit of a funny skip right before the goalkeeper collected it.
Bossing the midfield once more. Getting out of there, Ebony Wiseman runs through another challenge. Needed 2 to take it away from her. More pressure coming. Well, you see Iowa Western. They were the 9 seed, part of this quote-unquote group of death that Eastern Florida was in, 4, 5, and 9. If you just look at the seed rankings. Tyler, the 2 seed, on paper, easier competition. And looked very, very impressive in their opening game. And they looking forward and scouting Eastern Florida right now.
Oh yeah, and right now this is when you want to take notes, and you can, you know, as part of the coaching staff, you can start deciphering, you know, tactical schemes and how you match players and who you're going to mark personally and who, you know, all those little things that you need to implement.
Sure.
Especially when the whole, you know, national tournament on the line, going to the semifinal, and subsequently if you get through to the final.
Corey Rose, no spring chicken. I'm sure he's there already jotting notes. He's got a roster full of talented players, 31, the biggest roster of any team here. And he will use them as well.
Yeah, and that's one of the advantages that you might have with a roster of 31, that at any given time you can, you know, have players with all different characteristics. So whether you need a right-footed player with left-footed speed, you know, a little more technical, you know, all the different type of players you can have. But as you mentioned, the biggest roster yet in this tournament.
Send it downstairs to Brad.
So speaking of scouting, I did a little bit of scouting on my own, checking on Iowa Western and Tyler. It's a tale of 2 teams, really. Iowa Western heads down, very sad, kind of a somber feeling, and Tyler, on the other hand, the Apaches, watching intently on this one, as it's likely to be Eastern Florida State College that they face.
True dat. That's what you'd have to say to that here, Eddie. And
oh yeah,
you know, that's exactly what you would expect. Tyler knows they're going to be back here on Friday to try to get back into the championship game where they were a year ago.
Well, and the two teams would have loved to just meet each other in the final instead of the semifinals, but nonetheless, you gotta
beat whoever's in front of you.
Yeah, right now, from now on, it's one and done, and whoever steps in front of you, you got to take it to them. And once again, you got to figure out a way to win the next one, and of course, put yourself and give yourself a chance at a national championship, at a national title.
Tyler dropped 3-1 to Paradise Valley in last year's championship game. Of course, they've got a couple of national championships in Tyler, Texas to celebrate already. Regulars here. And loaded with high-quality players that are fun to watch. A lot of the same DNA.
Megan Deeds taking a little bit too long to deliver that ball. She had a channel, could have played the ball down the line. Took a little bit too long. By the time she tried to play it, the gap in that space closed.
Silva hits the deck. Schoolcraft trying to get out.
Oh, Da Silva does not mind.
Oh, a little bit of a misplay. Now we need to be cleaned up. Rosansky does just that.
I was just going to say, Da Silva doesn't mind sacrificing her body for the good of the team.
Question is, do you want to do that at this point?
Right.
Still a half an hour to go. If you nick a third here, you're feeling really good.
And I think that's exactly what Jeff Carr's thinking. If we can put the third one in the back of the net, then he can make some subs.
Oh, beats one, steps over once. Gets it, takes a foul, free kick. Here comes a card. And this is what you worry about if you're Jeff Carr.
Yeah, of course.
Yellow.
Da Silva drawn the card, but once again, you see Da Silva saving the ball. Nice little Meg, and that's why Jamie got upset there, and he comes to the axe right here. You see that push from behind.
Yeah, a little elbow into the back.
This is when you have to be careful. If you're Natalie Da Silva, you just don't want to get hit, especially from behind, and you don't want to roll an ankle as you're getting ready for the semifinal game. You got to be smart about it.
Danielle Shawayhat said, take that. There's the service into the area, falls inside the 6, now back out and cleared.
Da Silva looking for that near post shot. A goalkeeper with a good save.
Whitaker. Dees. Run a bit by Da Silva. Kept alive.
Yeah, I think if Eastern Florida doesn't score in the next 10 minutes, right around the 25th, 20th minute, I think Jeff will start making some subs, and regardless of the score, because at some point then you will start risking your players.
Yes.
Once again, Megan Dees taking just a little bit too long in that delivery. As we see the free kick once again. Da Silva looking to that near post. And see how the ball just dips right at the end. Garriga making a good run.
Dees will throw. Move it down the line for the Winter Haven native, transfer from Flagler College last year.
Great ball by Lockwood, looking for Cristina Garriga, who brings the ball down using that 6-foot frame.
Headed into space, running under is Jenna Smith. And Gomez read it and moves up. Ooh, collision. Ocelot's ball. Lockwood.
It's a great
Dees
ball.
into DeLuca. Centering pass. De Silva holds it up, pushed off the ball. And bracketed by two defenders. And down she goes.
Saw that great early ball by Megan Dees when she played that early ball into space. Yep. That's how you want to get in the back of Schoolcraft's flat back four.
Gomez making the defensive run there. Well, Select Sports is proud to be the official match ball of the National Junior College Athletic Association. Select's Super FIFA Match Ball is used exclusively at all NJCAA soccer championships. Select Sports, inspired by history but designed for the future. Gomez, make no mistake, put that out. Do not want Megan Swerchek running at anybody. So far, the Titans have bottled up Jamila Thompson, their leading scorer, with 21 goals coming in. We saw Clisha DeRue, London native, come back in to get a little spell here in the second half.
Yeah, Jamila hasn't really had many chances, especially in the attacking third. Every time she has to come and get the ball, Juna Supan has been there with a couple of great tackles and just closing that space. Then you have Gomez as well. And even Destiny De Luca. Once again, you see Jenna Smith, long driven ball into the box. A little bit too far.
A little bit better here from Schoolcraft on the possession. As soon as I say that, it's given up. Sent up the line though, so they'll keep it. Comes another change for Coach Joe Carver, native of England. Shelby Jacques coming in. Royal Oak. Virtually the entire roster from the state of Michigan.
Yeah.
You have Jamila Thompson, who's from Canada. That's the only exception.
That's pretty much it. Other than that, I was never really looked at a roster just from all from the same state. On the other hand, we look like the United Nation from Eastern Florida, from players from all over the globe.
A number of teams can say that as we send it down to Bradford Evans.
So as Nat De Silva went down there, I'm wondering when Coach Carr is going to make some changes here. And, you know, the game is won. It's a 6-goal differential. I'm just wondering when the changes, the big platoon swap is going to happen. Your guys' thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, that's a great point you bring up, you know, Brad, because right now you don't want to risk any injuries. And as you mentioned, you know, it's a +6 game. So from now on, it's somehow just you want to, you know.
DeRue is in. She'll shoot, and it's put off wide of the target. And that kept it from going 3-0.
And I think to answer your question, that was it. I think just Jeff Carr's waiting for that third goal, and DeRue almost converts. Sophia Carroll with a great ball. Even better turn right here. DeRue goes one-on-one. All she had to do is talk that ball away.
Got a tap to it. Yeah. Corner kick.
But I think it's just a matter of time. In the next probably 5 minutes, he's going to start making some subs.
I would disagree that the game is won. However, yeah, the results of what's going to happen, even with a loss, Schoolcraft will need to score 9. Not in 24 minutes. So that's done and dusted, but you don't want to go in on a loss, right? That's
no, right.
Make sure you ensure that you've won the game.
Well, also, you know, he's not going to sub in, 10 players at a time. He's going to start slowly,
full line
get right. I mean, you're never going to, take out your flat back four and so on. But, you start taking, as you see, another sub right here. You take, your critical players, Da Silva.
Jamie Farles.
One at a time. And before you know it, you will have 5 or 6 of your starters out, and you will still control the flow of the game, which is, of course, the main goal. You don't want the level, the intensity of the game dropping yet.
So Farrell's a former starter before her injury, so there's no drop off there. De Silva, really wants to get on the score sheet as well. Tonight, the assists going to Klesha DeRue and Christina Garriga.
Of course, if you're Natalie Da Silva, you definitely want to get one in your personal account. You're tied at 17.
How about an Olympico? Falls to that back post.
Well, if there's one
Caught by
player in this
Chupon.
roster who can do it, Jeff, it's definitely her.
I think we've seen her do it. Her, or it might have been somebody else. Can't quite remember what year that was.
No,
now, but there was one.
I think it was her. No,
Yeah.
you're right. You see, she's got the ability to curve that ball in swinger. That's a great driven ball.
Supon.
See, Jamie
holding it.
not, yeah, freshly. Player just came in, didn't make contact with the ball. And Lockwood was there as well.
6th corner for Eastern Florida. We throw. Well, 23 minutes. Daru keeping it alive. De Silva inside the 6 will dribble out and bicycle it out of play. Landed on the net. So.
Well, there's that flair that we talked about. Natalie Da Silva just doing what she does best. Gets a ball inside the 18. Daru. Da Silva, nice little flick. Why not? Let's go for the bicycle kick.
Just got over the top of it. Hit the.
Yep.
Couldn't turn around on it. But
Hit it on the way up.
I don't know if you want to do that when you're worrying about an injury or anything. Let's see. So many things can go wrong. Schoolcraft break up this shutout. In all fairness, done well defensively. Have only conceded the 2 goals. Last night it was 5 after conceding only 5 all season. This is more, a little closer to their DNA.
Swarchek gets the throw in. Got the call against Megan Dees, who actually gets the call. It's actually a throw-in, not on the ground. You're right, though. Eastern Florida has done great defensively, keeping that shot out in both games. And for them, it's about, you know, just playing good, sound, solid defense going into the semifinal and knowing that you've done a good job collectively as a unit.
See all the reserves up off the bench, so you know Jeff's going to make the, pull the trigger here eventually.
Yes.
There's Lockwood. One last run to Daru. Steps, and we'll try to chip the keeper, and unable to do so. McKenna Haas got back in the nick of time.
It's a good idea, though. Didn't quite get enough club. It was on. The keeper was backpedaling. It's a great ball by Lockwood. Daru controls the ball, looks up, gets under the ball. Just not enough lag, but it's a good idea, though. Da Silva through.
Da Silva is in behind. She's in the 18. She will score! There's the 3rd. Natalie Da Silva for the 3rd time in this tournament. Think about it. Quite a player.
Natalie Da Silva showing that. Calling card, calling home, all the way to Brazil after she scores the 3rd outside of her right foot. Great finish by the Brazilian international. How about this ball, though? Great ball into the space. Da Silva controls the ball outside of her right foot.
Oh.
And she's going to turn around, AT&T, and call home to Brazil. Great finish.
Reminds you of Ronaldinho
on
the outside foot going away from goal.
She makes it look effortless, right, with the outside of her right foot. And just like that, leading the team with 18.
70th minute. Should put it to rest, and now we'll see.
I think now we're going to start
a couple
seeing
more subs as D steps to.
Yeah, this is when you want
to. You probably want to get her out.
Yeah, because, you know, she's going to start showboating a little bit.
Off the pass to D's. Lands on the far side of the post. DeLuca. Nobody waiting at the 4th official.
You know, Jeff, you talk about the offensive power of this Eastern Florida. Da Silva with 18, Lockwood 17, and you have players even like Garriga with 12. It's just,
yes,
they come off the woodworks.
Yeah, Lockwood had pulled level in that Golden Boot race with Nat, and now Da Silva is, and now you got Una Supon. So
yeah, this is
in some pain.
Which is okay.
take a look at the goal. And then of more concern is the health of Unisupan.
Yeah, once again, you see that ability by Da Silva. She doesn't even look up. She knows she's going far post. She knows she's going top shelf. As you see, this is not a good sign. The referee calling the trainer in.
Good sign that she's sitting up.
She's holding her
here.
ribs. Unisupan. That's Sophia Carroll.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just Surchek literally checked her. She's holding on to her ribs. Probably lost the air in her lungs. Yeah.
Could be some bruising as well. But walking off under her own power, and now I believe Jeff Carr will remove her.
Oh, absolutely. This is a great time for you to say, you know what?
Hey,
Well deserved. You know, this is when you can bring in Chloe
Yeah.
Whitaker,
Well,
a.k.a. Wheels.
Yeah, Chloe's in. You can always move in Jamie Farrells, who's played back there.
I'm
You can
sorry,
move her
yeah,
back, or DeLuca. You have options.
Yeah, Whitaker was the other center back. It was actually
D's drops.
Destiny DeLuca, who had gone off the field. Now she's back in.
Has played some center back here as of late, so very comfortable there.
I was just going to say, it was Lockwood who played the ball for Da Silva, and I'm thinking, I wonder if she knows that she just gave up the lead because she passed that ball. And, of course, when you're on the field, you don't think that way. But it's great for Natalie Da Silva, you know, and to see her score. She adds that flair to the game and just, you know, so much flavor and just so much happiness to the game. It's just great to see a player of that caliber, of that individual technical ability to score some goals.
Wiseman, some service across. Silva got wrong-footed a bit. Still chasing it down with reckless abandon.
Tell you, good job by Olivia Borgsdorf, because that would have left Da Silva by herself rather. And Borgsdorf just got a foot on it right at the end. You see her there on the ball in the middle of your screen. Once again, Wiseman with a great cross right there, and just at the last minute, Borgsdorf just flicks the ball. Sophia Carroll gets turned around and concedes the throw-in. Well, Jeff, right about 18 minutes left in this game. How do you see Schoolcraft? Do they go with three forwards? Do they just sit back and wait and kill it? Or?
Well, is it damage control? Do you want to keep the score line respectable? Because if you chased it, put numbers forward, you're likely conceding more. And Supan is back in.
And a lot of the times, as you mentioned, yeah, when you go chase it, you're going to make yourself vulnerable behind and give something up? Or do you just want to, you know, keep it respectable? And, you know, of course, Joe Carver, a coach who's been around the block a few times, so a guy who knows the game, and, you know, all they want to do is to compete and show well, and they've done that. I mean, the game really hasn't gotten out of hand. They've done a good job, and, you know, they're just basically outmatched against a pretty good, solid Eastern Florida who's done it all.
And again, they were in an up-and-down affair late last night with Iowa Western, a game that had 9 goals, so I'm sure they're starting to get gassed.
Yeah, that took, you know, and especially back-to-back games. Of course, Eastern Florida was sitting out, and they had the advantage of.
De Silva alone will leave it. Oh. Push. Just outside the area, so it will be a free kick, not a penalty.
I'll tell you what, though, this is a great spot for Lockwood to convert from here. Should we let her know that she's trailing 18-17 on the Golden Boot?
Get it up and down in a hurry as you look at the challenge.
Yeah, Daru just flicks it. Da Silva lays it off, and look at this tackle from behind. Of course, this is just prime realty right here for Natalie Da Silva. She loves to just go over the wall.
Or do you go low here?
In swinger. No, she's going to have space to go over the wall, top shelf. Right there.
There it goes, and couldn't get it up and down, which is the hardest thing to do. Sometimes it's a little better to be about 5-10 yards back.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And you see a lot of the times players that are clever and to bring the ball back a little bit, right? Trying to get that 1-2.
Yeah.
When you have players like Kaká who can really put spin on the ball, they bring it back 2 yards, Jeff.
Yeah.
That makes a difference because it's going to cut down the fly of the ball, and the more spin you put on the ball, you make it dip right at the end.
DeRue's in again. DeRue will shoot and spin it past the upper 90. Boy, you see the danger she can give you.
You see De Silva sprinkling a little bit of magic with that pass to LaRue. Nice little flick right here. And DeRue not far off. The ball just went off her left foot, outside of her left foot.
Well, you're talking about, scoring free kick goals. Bradford Evans and I were chatting at some point today about Sebastian Javinko, who has a 50% strike rate on free kicks. So, talk about somebody who can. And what I asked is, how does Italy not call him into the national team when they get knocked out of the World Cup?
It's incredible.
I mean,
at some point, when you think about a David Beckham late in his career, he just became a free kick specialist. That's it. I mean, he was never the best player at Man U or even at Real Madrid, but look, he was able to put England into the World Cup via free kick in the last few minutes against a pretty good, Greek team that all they did is play defense. And David Beckham, one chance late in the game, one goal, they go to the World Cup.
Tom McGant has a lot more to offer as well, former MVP in MLS. Take it back and look at the women's side. How about Marta, a player who could deliver free kicks in her prime days, still playing though.
Still does. Of course, did a great job with
the Pride this year.
With the Pride. And it's just great to see that, Da Silva reminds me of her, of course.
Yeah.
Just, different pace, a little bit.
Twice
Marta,
as high, though. Yeah. Twice as tall.
Well, Marta has it all, of course. But I tell you what, just to add that flair, that, to the game, like you're talking about, like a Ronaldinho, somebody who's just always happy around the game and who could just do some unbelievable things with the ball.
Do some unbelievable things off the pitch too, but we won't go there. Playboy could make a mess of this and maybe get Schoolcraft a goal. This is going to be tough. Diner read it, measured it, and caught it. DeLuca couldn't get it forward. So every ball contested by Eastern Florida, even this late in the game, up 3-0.
Once again, a long throw from Schoolcraft. They're trying everything, and that's pretty much been the story of this game for them as far as trying to put the ball in the back of the net. Nothing really clear, some chances, but not great chances, however. For Eastern Florida, you still want to continue to keep that shape in the back. Clean sheet, get rid of the ball, and ask questions later. What is going to do for you going into the semifinal, knowing that you really haven't given up anything defensively and you're playing, just a good soccer as you get ready for, the two most important games of the season, of course.
Run comes out to the top of the 18. You needed to have a go there, trying to be unselfish, and now it's taken away. Flesha DeRue getting stuck in. Whitaker plays it right into Simmons. So a quick turn, not a bad effort, as Jamila Thompson, who's really been marked out of the game, finally had a decent go at goal.
Well, and you see the ability of Jamila Thompson off that turn, and that's the reason why you cannot let her operate freely. Look at this right here, top of the box. And you can see a little bit of that frustration as well, because she really hasn't had anything clear. And of course, you got to give credit to Supan in the box, in the back rather, and also Chloe Whitaker. They've been the 1-2 punch against a very good Jamila Thompson, who really, other than a long range shot, really hasn't had anything going for her throughout the whole game.
Well, downstairs we go, back to Bradford Evans.
I think the wind took him.
Wind blew him away. Back to California.
Brad Evans,
Let's try it again.
I think the wind definitely did a number on him. Well, we'll
too cold.
We'll expect him back shortly here.
Vocal cords are frozen. Coming up on that 10-minute mark. We promise we'll get to Brad.
Damn, buddy, don't say anything. We're going to pot your mic up. We're going to toss.
Now, without further ado, the only Bradford Evans.
Thanks. As I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by the wind. An underrated quality as a goalkeeper, Sarah Diner has it, is the ability to be a vocal leader. You need to be a vocal leader back there. You need to coach and quarterback back there. Make sure that you're yelling step, step. Make sure your teammates are in position, and she's doing a really good job of that.
True.
And Brad, just to finish that, I'm going to put you on the spot. Why is the reason that your goalkeeper has to be so vocal and stuff in the back and quarterback out of the back? You're absolutely right, however. The reason for that being she has the best spot on the field.
Yeah, sees everything.
She sees everything. So, yeah, that's why the quarterback, you playing in the back, you have the best view in the house.
See, Adriana Arjun has checked in, so now some of the subs coming in. Farrell's continuing the run with the big leg brace on the left. Corner kick. It will be number 7 for Eastern Florida as we wind under 10 minutes to play.
Yeah, Jamie Farrell's, in the game, and you see that, that ACL brace, that knee brace. Weissman to do the honors.
She started the party with a cracking goal in the 22nd minute. Now delivers low. De Silva will catch it. DeLuca back out to Wiseman. Serves in. Was disrupted. Toms. Long ball off the back of the head. Trying to play it through. No dice.
Megan Swarchek has been kind of quiet in the second half. We saw her in the first half, made a couple of good runs, and I don't even see her on the pitch. She has a little bit of speed as well, right? She does the 1-2 with Jamila Thompson.
Arjun trying to turn and burn, play a through ball. A bad idea. McKenna Haas.
With just about 8 minutes left, Jeff, and this is when Eastern Florida just controlling everything. Everything but the wind, the score.
Arjun De Silva trailing now on the overlap. That's where she goes with it. Chucked into touch.
Yeah, this is when you can afford to take Natalie Da Silva out. You can see she's been definitely putting in some quality mileage. You can take her out and just give her some rest.
Now she is supremely conditioned.
For
Keep
sure.
that in mind.
Yeah, I'm just a little worried about her getting kicked, and she has that tendency of showboating a little bit at the end and go for the flicks. And when you have a team like Schoolcraft that really they don't have anything to play for anymore, the last 7 minutes of the game, you just don't want to risk any type of injury on probably one of your better players.
Nice feed, getting turned around. Garriga.
Cristina Garriga, a little bit disappointed. She took a touch. Could have done a little bit earlier though, but things are clicking for Eastern Florida. They're playing well together. Once again, great ball. Da Silva playing into the space, and see that little touch right at the end. Gets away from Cristina Garriga.
Here is the other Shoe Hat sister. This is Maria. Both of them freshmen out of Troy, Michigan. We saw Danielle pick up a yellow card earlier in this half. So two will be back with this program most likely next year. Toms will move on. So will Schmello. Jenna Smith. So some Players that have provided a lot of goals, a lot of excitement, a lot of good work for Schoolcraft the last couple of seasons. Rosansky along the back line. Mallory Bryant, Susie Bryan didn't play tonight. Lauren Wins, another player not available. So, but a good core returning for Coach Carver next year.
And of course, we know that he's always recruiting, so it's not just what he brings back from this team, the returning players, but what he's bringing in as a freshman class.
Olivia Borg Dorf will move on. Lauren Auspitz, the other keeper as well. Build and reload to the line it goes, keeping it. Throw in for Schoolcraft as time winding under 5 minutes now. So they stand to drop to 13-2-1, barring 3 goals here in the last 4:42. With the 2 losses coming here at this tournament. More with Bradford Evans.
Well, I'm back here. The wind hasn't taken me away yet. And I just wanted to comment on this beautiful pitch. It still has held up over so many games. There's been multiple games a day, 4 a day for 3 days straight, and it still looks like it's in brand new condition. Maybe a divot here and there, but that's to be expected.
Well, Bradford, there's a reason why Daytona, came in and pretty much copied everything down to a T and said, you know what, Daytona State, this is what we want. And of course, Jeff and I have had the privilege to be calling games here for the last 4 years, all the way from high school games where we've seen
high school state finals.
We've seen 5 games in one day
with rain.
Plus rain, and this pitch is just absolutely phenomenal. Of course, we have to, give credit where credit's due.
And I'm sure Jeff Carr will appreciate this too. But you had an entire USL season played here,
right?
Professionals, and then during the spring you have MLS teams training here for their off season. You've got other European teams that have trained here. Stoke City has trained here. I mean, it's a first-class facility and one to be envied. And as you said, Daytona State College, the new rival for the Titans, the team that beat them twice this season, copied it almost. Blade of grass for blade of grass.
Well, and as I told Jeff Carr, the best compliment is, when they just copy you straight up like that. I mean,
that's imitation's the sincerest form of flattery.
And of course
now it's also been the home of this tournament for the last 7 years.
Yeah. And when you talk about, every bit of 110, 115 by 75 to 80 yards, I mean, this is, you widen it a little bit and lengthen it, and this could be, a qualifier for a World Cup. I mean, you could actually play a World Cup game as far as the dimensions of the field. Of course, we would have to add a few bleachers here and there.
I'd rather see one here than in Qatar.
Oh, of course.
Playing out the string. I remember those 2 years where the FHSAA had the state championships here. One thing is that for high school level, it was a little wide for some of those smaller schools that are in the boondocks of Florida.
For some of those schools,
especially on the girls' side that didn't have the big throws,
completely lost out here with just so much time and space. They didn't know what to do with it.
It's funny. When this past season, it was over at Stetson, and everybody complaining how narrow it was because it was on an American football pitch. Last 2 minutes, looking for more. Farrells, and easy pickings for McKenna Haas. It looked like Yankee Stadium for NYCFC. It was like not necessarily a postage stamp, but long and thin. I mean, every throw-in was a set piece. I mean, for anywhere on the field. So I'd much prefer to have it here. So that can happen again.
Oh, for sure.
Ball into the box. Sophia Carroll, former MCC player. She joined the team from an ID camp and earned her place here. 2 years removed from an ACL.
Yeah, from those players who don't think that they might have a chance. All it takes now, it's an ID camp, you know, an invitation, a walk-in, and, you know, a walk-on.
Eastern Florida about to put the finishing touches here on perfect pool. 4-0 over Iowa Western, and right now looks like it's going to be 3-0 over Schoolcraft, unless they've got something to say here in the final 24.
Well, perfect pool, Jeff, and also getting out of the group of death and style as well. You win 4-0, you know, the first game, 3-0, and once again, more than that, it's not just the score, but the fact that you're playing good soccer, quality soccer, and the team is peaking at the right moment.
Perfect pool. Don't want to scratch on the 8 ball, but coming up next, semifinals for Eastern Florida State College. They advance, punching the 4th and final ticket into the semis coming up Friday right here at the Titan Soccer Complex. They beat the Ocelots of Schoolcraft 3-0. The final will be right back to wrap it up.
Catch the 2017 NJCAA Women's Soccer National Championship game live Saturday at 7 on WEFS.
My wife is currently in the Air Force, so I decided to be a stay-at-home father.
I'm a retiree and a full-time student.
I did online classes because I was traveling and it was easy to take the classes with me.
I am graduating today with my bachelor's in business administration.
If it wasn't for the online classes, I would not be standing here today.
There shouldn't be any procrastination. Just get out there and go do it.
Well, with Eastern Florida State College being the tournament hosts, Jeff Carr is a man who wears many hats. Tonight, his favorite, of course, being the head coach of the soccer program. We welcome in Jeff Carr right now, a 3-0 victory as the chill of fall is in the air and got his job done.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. Yeah, great team effort tonight. We kind of shut them down, their attack, and we, did enough to win the game.
Jeff, you accomplished a couple of different things. You get out of the group of death, which it was the #1 goal. You get into the semifinal, but you also have a couple of shutouts. The team is playing well, peaking at the right time. How do you feel going into that semifinal?
Yeah, I mean, Tyler, Corey Rose, a good friend of mine. I mean, it's a tough game. They're, one of the best teams in the country, but, expect that you're in the Final Four now. So, any team we play is going to be great. So we're thankful for the opportunity, and we have been peaking right now. So hopefully we can carry that on, and we've had some different players step up, had some big goals, and defensively, like you said, we've had 2 clean sheets in a row, which is exciting.
Jeff Carr, thank you very much. Congratulations. We'll see you back here Friday, right here on WEFS. Looking forward to the semifinal against Tyler Junior College.
All right, thanks,
Good
Jeff
luck,
and Eddie. Thanks.
We will have that game for you here, as I just said, on WEFS. That will be the second semifinal. First will be ASA taking on Phoenix, the top seed. So should see a lot of exciting women's soccer here as we narrow things down to a championship. But a day off for everybody. Welcome as the group stage comes to an end. Let's check the highlights of this one as Eastern Florida State College, the 4 seed, dispatching the 5 seed Schoolcraft here, Eddie.
Yeah, it all started earlier in this game. Giroux plays the ball back. Weisman tees it up, lets it go far post. And just like that, turns the first goal with a great strike for Eastern Florida.
They weren't done in the first half. Katie Lockwood running through a tackle.
She wins the ball. Great ball by Cristina Garriga. Goes for the tackle. And just like that, bears the ball to the far post.
And in the second, Natalie De Silva getting hers.
De Silva with a great chip inside the 18. Just clinical finish. Ronaldinho style. Putting a little Brazilian flavor, if you will.
And another look. So effortless for the sophomore out of Rio. 18th goal of the season, now back in the team lead. And it was a 3-0 Eastern Florida State College winner. So ponder that as we look forward to Friday. Eddie, what will the Titans have to do to advance past that? Because Tyler, the 2 seed, has been one of the best looking teams in this tournament.
That's a great question. They need to do exactly what they've done the last 2 games. Get out of the, out of the, when they come out, they got to come out swinging. They got to put the ball in the back of the net when they get their chances. But for them, it's about starting fast, starting early, put their chances away. And I think I like their chances against a pretty good Texas team.
Tonight, focus on job done for Eastern Florida State College. They survive pool play and move on to the semifinals. We'll see you back here on Friday. For Eddie Rodriguez, Bradford Evans, our producer Brian Foster, John Bover, our director, and our entire WEFS crew, I'm Jeff Radcliffe saying so long for now. Titans close out pool play, a 3-0 win over Schoolcraft. Have a good night.